The Paceline, the podcast on two wheels. Welcome to our little group ride. I'm RKP contributor Michael Hotten. I ran into someone on a local path here in the beach communities of LA County. He was just starting a double century, 200 miles up and down a maybe 5-mile stretch of the path through the night on a unicycle. He is Terry Peterson, calls himself the UniGeezer, even though he is only 60. We met after to talk about the ride and about unicycles. The goal was a 200 miles, a double century on a unicycle, right?
Correct, on a 36er unicycle. Big wheel. The larger the wheel, the further you go with every revolution. You can't coast on a unicycle. There's no gears to help you climb. There's no front wheel or frame to stabilize your fore and aft balance. On a bike, you can close your eyes, and as long as you're moving, the only real balance you have to concern yourself with is left and right. On a unicycle, it's 360, every direction. And you have to pedal every moment that you're moving. Mm-hmm. So for 200 miles, that would translate to about 112,000 revolutions, since you can't coast. And I did about 90-something thousand.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had to cut it short at 4:30 in the morning. I had started at 8:30 in the morning the previous day, Thursday, on the 2nd of June. I had eaten probably too much, too fast, a few hours earlier, and around 4:30 a.m., I paid a visit to the men's room that luckily was still open. I knew right then that was probably it. But 174 miles in 20 hours is the longest and the farthest I've ever ridden, so I was pretty darn happy with that.
And you were doing it for a cause.
Oh yeah, to raise money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and I've also raised money on previous rides for other charities. I just ride for the challenge, the personal challenge, for the fun of it, and just because it's a great way to get in shape and stay fit.
What would it take for somebody who normally rides two wheels, a conventional bicycle, to attempt the unicycle? Is it a huge leap, or can you carry things over?
Well, most people that can ride a bike, I've never seen anyone who can ride a bike that attempted to learn, if they really put forth some effort, not be able to learn. It's not very hard. The main thing is not to learn bad habits at the beginning that you'll have to unlearn later on, like relying on a shoulder or a pole or a fence or something to mount. It's better to learn how to free mount, and I have a couple of tutorials on YouTube that'll show people how to do that. It's relatively easy. The average person can probably learn to free mount in a couple of days, maybe a week, depending on how much time they put into it. I think it's a fear factor at first. Most people think I'm going to break my neck. But once they get on and fall, they 99.9% of the time land on their feet. Then they go, oh, that wasn't so bad. And then they get more serious about it and they go, okay, now I'm going to learn this. When you're riding a unicycle, you're basically in a perpetual state of almost falling. For instance, when you're climbing a hill, you have to lean into it just like a bike. When you're coming down a hill, you lean back. But the body tends to find its own center of gravity.
Now, you do this off-road as well, you were saying?
Oh yeah, that's my main riding discipline. I started out with a 24-inch mountain unicycle, which used to be the standard for mountain bikes, and they jumped to 26. And now we have 26ers and even a 27.5, which is my favorite size. We have disc brakes now, and we can ride pretty much any trail, technical or otherwise, that a mountain bike can do. And we can do the switchbacks without having to stop. A lot easier. We can hop in place and make a quick 90-degree hop if we need to get down to the next section. Climbing, we often find ourselves passing bikes not because we're great, but because we don't have the gear and we have to keep moving or lose momentum. And bikes sometimes are in very low gear, spinning fast but moving slow. So we oftentimes pass the bikes. We can't keep up with them on the flats or the downhills, but I do have a geared unicycle. It's got a Schlumpf gear made in Switzerland, the only commercially made geared hub for a unicycle. It's all internal. It's got a 1-to-1.5, so for instance, a 26er becomes a virtual 39-inch wheel when you kick it into high. It's got a little button that comes out of either side of where the crank bolt normally goes. And you just kind of swipe that when you're riding.
Well, keep up the good work. We hope you're feeling better, first of all, and you don't look like a geezer, by the way. I don't know where this nickname comes from, but...
Well, I get that a lot, but, one thing is for sure on that one, I can't outgrow it.
Again, that's Terry Peterson. UniGeezer.com is his website. I'm Michael Hotten. We'll talk to you next time on The Paceline.